I've been hearing a lot about people struggling to land interviews or even just struggling to get a call back from recruiters for the initial hiring screen. And it seems that this stems from people applying to a lot of jobs, like literally hundreds of jobs. So it's not even that you're not applying enough, it's that people just struggle to get callbacks. So why is this happening? Why does it feel like it's happening to so many more people at this current time? So I'm just going to be brutally honest. If quantity is not your issue, so if you're applying to hundreds of jobs over a few month period or whatever, you are probably missing one key point in your portfolio or your personality. And that's literally just your resume. So your resume probably sucks. There's nothing else that'll matter at this stage. I don't care if you think your technical interview skills suck or if your behavioral interview skills suck. If you struggle to even get an interview after applying for that many jobs, you suck. So I'm not saying you generally suck. It might just be your resume, right? So you might be good, but if you don't display that well in your resume, then you also suck, right? So your resume has to display you properly. And if you are using your resume as the medium of communication to convey that you're a good employee or candidate to be an employee, and that sucks, then obviously you're going to struggle to get interviews, right? So if you struggle to get callbacks, your resume sucks. There's nothing else you need to think about at that moment. Just work on your resume, fix your resume. We've talked about this in previous videos, but you have to really think about it from a perspective of a recruiter being super cutthroat and cold-hearted looking at resumes. They're going to look for the things that matter the most to them. First thing is going to be amazing experience from amazing companies. Now, you might not have that. So what else could you have? Great education from decent schools, whatever. And then other than that, projects, guys, right? And no one wants to see on your resume a long ass paragraph or objective paragraph or a summary about you. Like if it's more than even no, not even 10 words, you don't need any of that, right? So I know some of you guys have like 200, 300 word paragraphs, like an objective summary of you yourself or your experience. I'm telling you, trust me, nobody is reading that. Nobody. What they're doing is they're instantly skipping it. And sometimes when they initially see that paragraph, they might just skip over your resume completely and ignore it and reject you. Now, if it's something that genuinely has value, it might be something like you created a space rocket in 10th grade, right? And they're going to be like, wow, like that's generally worth reading. But none of you have that. So no one's going to care that you have 4 years of QA experience and you're talking about every tool you've used and how you managed to implement this thing. Like if it's longer than one key point under a career experience, no one's reading it. You have to get that out of your mind, right? You have to make it readable and effective and right to the point. So remember, experience number one at good companies. From there, you go to education, you fall back to that. And then from there, you fall back to projects and side projects, things like that, right? Same with skills. Like you list your skills on your resume, but remember, no one's going to take you seriously if you list a dozen skills, but you have zero experience, right? So they have to have proof that you've actually shown that you can use those skills, not that you just watch the YouTube tutorial. So now I'm not saying any of you guys have these resume issues. You might have different resume issues. You might even just have terrible formatting, not proofread, whatever. But I'm telling you, if you are applying to hundreds of jobs, your issue is not that the job market sucks. It's not that employers aren't hiring, because trust me, they are hiring. And it's not anything else. It's not that anyone's out to get you. It's most likely that your resume just purely sucks. So fix your resume. Reach out to people, talk to people, ask your mom, ask your dad. I don't care. It doesn't have to be us or a professional or someone from Fiverr to look at your resume or do a rough draft of your resume. It can literally be anyone. Ask people you even know personally. A lot of the times you'll be surprised how great opinions you'll hear from people around you, right? They might not even be in your field, but they'll give you straight up opinion of your resume and why it sucks, right? Some people could actually notice that easier than you because maybe you're too boggled down into thinking about technical skills and things like that, that you kind of ignore the personable side of your resume. Like, is this actually something I want to read as a hiring employer or hiring manager? So be honest with yourself, be cutthroat with yourself too, because recruiters are cutthroat with you. So treat yourself the way they're treating you. Make sure your resume is good and does what it's supposed to do. And you have to remember, no one here is wanting you to get that job, right? You have to cheer yourself on and promote yourself. So no one is going to sell yourself to an employer unless you do that first, right? So if you want to get the recruiter on your side, you have to convey to the recruiter that you're worth hiring, and then they'll finally get on your team, right? So fix your resume. That's why you're not getting any interviews. Other than that, if you have problems in the future, you can always work on that. That's a separate issue. But fix your resume first if you're not getting any interviews. Remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and put any resume tips you have down below in the comment section. And I'll see you guys next time.